Hi, this is Krista at The Secret Yarnery. Welcome to Crochet Podcast, episode 151. And now it's time for Stack in the Back. Don't you just love stack in the back? Let me go grab that stack. It's a bright one today. Starting at the top, this is the round granny square baby blanket. One of them, I made a bunch. So what's good about this pattern? Well, obviously the yarn's fantastic. This is Cakes DK from Ice Yarns. This is a super easy pattern to do. What I don't like about making things round is the increases always end up in the same spot. You end up making like hexagons. Hexagons? Yeah, hexagons. And I don't want to do a hexagon, I want to do a circle. So this is a true circle. If you look at the edge, it is nice and round all the way around. And you don't have to do increases every row. You do a whole bunch of rows without increases, and then you do a row of increases, and then you do a whole bunch of rows without increases. So you're not having to increase every round. It goes really quick because those rounds where you're not increasing, you're just putting 3 double crochets into each space, boom, 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 all the way around. It's so quick and easy. So that is a really fun pattern to make. It's a written pattern and a tutorial on the channel. I have to do it again. It's on my list of things to do for like a year, 2 years, a long time. I want to make another one just to check the pattern because for me, that's how it worked out for me. But people have a problem between row 9 and 11. In the video, I say increase. It might be just a problem with editing the video. That could be it. I don't know. In the video, I say to increase at the end of the row, but there's not an increase at the end of the row, like how it's joined up. So you don't have to worry about that. Just don't increase at the end of that row. But there is that, I think that is a little issue with that one. So if you are gonna make that, just don't stress out, just keep going. We do increases or no increases. And if you do one extra increase or one less increase, it's not gonna make a hill of beans a difference. You're gonna have a fabulous round granny square blanket when you're done, regardless. This gorgeous one, I don't know, I won't say gorgeous. This is my temperature blanket. I do like the border on it, mind you. But it's a hot mess. This whole blanket's a hot mess. Let me show it to you. So this is hot colors for hot weather and cold colors for cold weather. This is 6 months of temperatures with single crochet and a 6mm hook and a size 4 worsted weighted yarn. So I just did 6 months because this would just be too big if I kept going. And I did a row of popcorns, those popcorn stitches in there for special days, birthdays and things like that. So that was a really fun blanket to do, but I did have to sew in my ends, which kind of led me to not change colors all the time if it wasn't like a drastic change, and also like changing the yarn at the end of the row. Oh. Anyway, I put a big border on it to kind of hide my errors, the errors of my ways. See that border? So I like the border. We call it the watermelon border. I don't know what I did, but it's pretty cute actually. But if you want me to check out what I did or figure out what I did and redo this border on another blanket, let me know. So this is really cute. This is a temperature blanket, but it's also everything not to do with a temperature blanket. Don't use a size 4 worsted weight acrylic. Don't use a 6mm hook. And don't do just plain single crochet because it gets really big really fast. The linen stitch or the moss stitch, the stitch we're doing for our temperature blanket 2023 will be a lot smaller and more nicer, better than this. But I still love it. It's like a good memory to have. This is Scarella's outfit. I made this for Scarella. Scarella's my scary mannequin, if you don't know who Scarella is. So let me pop this on Scarella so you can you can see her real purpose. This is Scarella's outfit. So there is Scarella. That is her whole point. So that is the outfit I made for her. Well, she did have her head on because that's the full effect. That is what I made for Scarella to wear. I did one of those craft fairs. Craft fair is kind of like it's kind of like a business fair. It's not really crafty. It's more like entrepreneur-y kind of craft fair. So I did one of those as a fundraiser years and years and years and years ago, 7 years ago, a long time ago. And I dressed up Scarella in this outfit because it would obviously look like crochet. You could see her from really far away and be like, oh look, that's crochet, just to kind of stand out front of my tent so people didn't have to like look inside to see what we were all about. They would know, oh look, Granny Squares, that tent is all about crochet. So that is the OG original Granny Square vest. I didn't even put a button on it. I literally just tied it with string because I'm like, never mind. Let me show you the sides. I also had to leave it really open on the sides here to fit Scarella's curvy figure. Next in stack in the back is another round Granny Square, round Granny Square baby blanket. This is the one for the tutorial, including just finishing it off with a really nice border, just really simple. So single crochet, chaining, skipping, and double crochets just to make a nice edge around the border. So this is my finished one. I think the other one, I was gonna make it bigger. Maybe. It's a good idea. But no time. No time yet. It's still on my list of things to do. So that is another round Granny Square baby blanket. This. Now I love it and I don't love it. So I love the colors. This inspiration, literally, was from this glorious bedspread. I should do it again, actually, in nicer yarn. Do you see all the colors in there? I loved it. So this was fabric, like a fabric bedspread at a resort I stayed at years and years and years ago. And I just loved it. So I took a picture and I'm like, wouldn't it be great if I could recreate that in crochet? So it's just double crochets, and in between the rows of color on the bedspread, it had like a metallic thread or a metallic row going through in between each color. So I used a metallic yarn from Ice Yarns. I don't even know, it was from clearance, so I don't know which one it was, but I just put a row of metallic in between each row of my colors, and I loved it. I'm like, it is so great. So I had that, I was working on the border, so I had finished one edge of the border, so I put extra, let me hold it this way. I put extra row of the metallic and then black, and then I hung a pom-pom, or I made a pom-pom of the color down below each row. You see that? So this was in a holding pattern, waiting so I could film the other end of it, right? So I just I folded it up, put it away so that I could film it. Then I had a little mouse visit me. Couldn't find the little mouse. It was back when I had Tenno. He's my French bulldog, passed away ages ago. Sadly, he was amazing. And I was like, Tenno, can you get the mouse? I put mouse traps out. I put those sticky glue pads out. The mouse just never went there. I'm like, where is this mouse? Well, guess where the mouse was? Loves metallic yarn. Doesn't go for the acrylic, goes for the metallic. So some of these stripes, he ate all the way up to where the yarn is. Like he literally ate the yarn, ate the metallic yarn. So I grabbed some crazy glue because I don't have any of that phrase stoppy stuff here. So I grabbed some crazy glue and I crazy glued like just where, right at the end where, let me see if I can find one. Well, I crazy glued right up here to keep those from unfreeing anymore, unraveling. But I kind of lost the oomph for it. Like if a mouse has been at it, it kind of ruined it for me. So I didn't bother filming it. I haven't done anything with it. Now it just stays folded up like a memory of like, oh, that's when you had a mouse. A mouse in the yarnery. Shame, shame, shame. It was horrific. So that if you ever think you have a mouse near your yarn, go and check your metallic yarn because they love it. They love it. So it was like a chair back cover for one of the pieces of furniture in my house, but now it is just a reminder that I had a visitor that I didn't like and didn't appreciate, and that crazy glue does work. That would be pretty cool to remake. If you're interested in doing that one with me, let me know. Maybe instead of metallic in the middle, we could just use like a white, like color white. Or maybe we could use a tan or a gray or a black. Anyway, let me know what you think about that in the comments under this video. And I gotta put away my stack. What was your favorite one? Yay, I can't wait. I love it. We have such a good stack. It's this stack right here. See that stack? Sweaters that I can't put on, I'm too hot. All sorts of goodness in there. Oh my God, I just started sweating thinking about it. I'm gonna hold them up for you, but they're right there. Let me grab that stack. That's a good stack. This is a doozy. I could just hang out here. We could have conversations. We could talk. So, what's your name? How long you been coming here? Haven't seen you here before. Come here often? Okay, starting at the top. This gorgeous beauty, this is such a great scarf. I actually made this to wear because it was cold. So this is a one ball scarf made with the coronation stitch. So you do little heads and then you do a little crown. You do it like a row of heads, a row of crowns, a row of heads, a row of crowns. So it's the coronation stitch, easy 2-row repeat. And that is, I wanna say probably 200 grams. I don't know. What color was it? Oh, it does look like it. So this beauty, and it's long enough, I'm gonna be sweating, I'm gonna be dripping. It's long enough to like loop through like that, like the Seinfeld way of doing it. So I love it. It's really good for winter when it's cold here. It's fashionable, it's warm, and it's really easy to do. So fast. This would be great to show you in cold weather, but this is the 4 squared granny. So it's 4 granny squares, 1 for each sleeve, and 1 for the back, 1 for the front. And then you just join as you go to make yourself a cute little sweater. I didn't even put extra sleeves on it or extra rows for the sleeves. It's like a cute little, what do you call it? Like a little crop sleeve sweater. Really cute. So that is the 4 squared granny sweater. There is a tutorial. This one, I wear this so much. This is like, it's washed, but it is so old, it is like grubby by nature. It's naturally grubby. This is my granny square cardie. There's like bits of tree in it. I ain't lying when I say I wear it a lot. So I'm gonna have to show it to you and like somehow dry up my face. So the great thing about this one, it covers your bum completely. And another great thing about it, you can sit on your sweater. Like if you're sitting somewhere in public, you don't have, like you can sit on your sweater. So it's like a safety barrier between you and the real world. It covers your bum. It's like bringing your own, it's like a blanket you can wear. It's a blanket with little sleeves. So this is, I don't know if it's written pattern, but it's definitely a tutorial. Look at those old aged sleeves. But I really do, it's a very practical sweater for what I want in a sweater, which is cozy, warm, casual, easy to put on. That's the one right there. Okay. Next, This is my poncho. Now this is not a written pattern and I really wish it was. So this is back from when I think I was still teaching classes and I wanted to make a poncho, but everyone else wanted to do like a different project. So I'm like, okay, well then they didn't need the written pattern because they didn't need to follow along. I just filmed it. And now I don't have a written pattern for it. I could go back and write it myself, which I guess I have to, but isn't that cute? And this is just with Kenyan acrylic. The nicest Kenyan acrylics that I could find, or the nicest colors. I'm gonna be so hot. Okay, hold on. I gotta show it to you because this one is so cool. So you can wear it two ways. You can wear any poncho two ways. Let me hop up, show it to you. So this is way of wearing it number 1. Isn't that absolutely fun? Like, to be honest, that's great. See? This is way of wearing it number 2. So you can decide how you're gonna wear it. And it's really warm also. I like it a lot. I don't wear it that much, to be honest. I think because it's just so hot. Like the yarn, it's really thick and it's really heavy, and I just don't live in a place where I need thick and heavy ponchos. But if I did, I have one. It's gorgeous. Another poncho. This was my first one. Was this my first wearable? One of them. So this is a tutorial. And you can wear this a bunch of ways too. What I like about it, it's like a poncho, like a shawl, but you don't have to like keep pinning it over. So this one is great. You just make a big rectangle and then you stitch it together. You bring one end up to one side. Where am I showing you? Get up to it. Where is it? There it is. So you stitch it like that. So you stitch the side of your poncho to the end of your poncho, and it gets you a little triangle. So let me pop this one on and I'll show you this one. So this is version number 1. So nice little cowl at the neck and a little point at the back. It goes down. Or you can wear it sideways, so one hand out and one hand holding your wallet underneath. This is also a really quick pattern because you do a double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, and then a row of single crochet. So you don't have to do all of your stitches. And it's a bit, you get a bit of air conditioning. You don't get like locked into a really hot sweater because air still does get in there, even with the acrylic yarn. Oh, I also had a question. How do I find the things you have in stack in the back? Like, how do I find those patterns? So this is how I do it. I go to Google and I say Stripey V Poncho Secret Yarnery, and I let Google find it for me. It should show up on the tutorial should show up, and also the written pattern if it's a written pattern. So that's how I do it. Just search for the title of what the project is and also add in Secret Yarnery. Oh, this is so cute. This is my very first oyster shell scarf back when I was knitting. I used a crazy yarn that I liked, but I did a fancy stitch, so you can't even see the fancy stitch. But it was the first one I did. This is literally 20 years old. I love it. I never wear it, don't get me wrong. I could though, it has nice colors. Look at those colors. So that is the oyster shell scarf. This is my hug shrug. So this is a Mobius. I have not sewn in my tail, so I have to show you the other way around. Now, what I didn't like this one is the yarn. It was back in the day when I'm like, everything's better in cotton and everything's better that's not acrylic. No, this feels like a washcloth. It doesn't feel great. I have a much better hug shrug in the back in acrylic yarn, like cheap and cheerful acrylic, that I like a lot better. But the gist of it is this crosses over in front of you like a little Mobius, like a little hug. So it's cute. This is like flashback pile, I'm telling you. This is my first infinity scarf before I knew how to fix a tight chain. See that? Yep, my chain is so tight. So tight. Even if I pull it, it cannot match the bottom of the scarf. So this was my very first one. I did like the colors a lot. I think those colors are so wearable and so nice. Also, this is just Kenyan acrylic, cheap and cheerful. But I don't wear it at all. Oh, this is practical. So this is the same as my grubby old sweater from down there, the first stripy one that's so grubby. But just in blues. So the same bum cover sweater that goes under, it hugs your bum, but in blue. I don't think I can put it on. I think I even have sweat at the back of my neck. Okay, no, I don't, but I feel like I could. Can't put it on. Same kind of style as this stripy one that I showed you. So it's just a big granny square that you put sleeves on and a collar. That's a good one. Is that it? That's it for stack in the back? I thought there was more underneath there. That's sad. Hi, stack in the back. So what was your favorite part of stack in the back? I think my favorite was finding this navy sweater because that is done and wearable and I forgot about it. So I'm glad that one's there because now at least I know I have a great sweater to wear if and when we get our cold weather back. Okay, come on, gorgeous stack. Let's go back to the back. It's time for stack in the back. Who doesn't love a good stack from the back? Oh my gosh. We are on our last row. Now there has been some very good suggestions from a couple people that we should, or I should, compile all the stack in the back segments into one video. So just stack in the back for a video. Oh, wouldn't that be great? So we have 5 more stacks to do before I've gone through all of the stacks. So I'm gonna go get the 5th from the last stack. Is it 4? I don't know, let me see. Let me find out how many more stacks we have. This is a heavy one. Heavy, heavy, heavy. This was some yarn I bought in Kenya. It was $10 a ball per 100 grams, and it was fuzzy. Well, it still is fuzzy. It's a fuzzy yarn. It has a little bit of color in there. Anyway, they didn't have much. So I made a little baby lapgan for my husband, and I put a nice little border on it. I think I'm holding it the wrong way around. I put a cute little border on it. I think this is Thunder. It's Lion Brand, or it is a gray yarn with a little bit of sparkle in it for the border, just to kind of get it as big as I could. I personally love it. I think that is like such a cute little border, isn't it? But the problem is the blanket, it's like actually really tiny. So it just sits in my finished objects. Next, oh, this is the same yarn. They had more of it in this brown kind of color. So this is a Rwana poncho with a collar, basically, long and short of it. So it's like a duster jacket. I'm gonna have to show it to you. Now the funny thing is, I don't like this one because it tickles me. Right? Like it just feels like, it feels like a bunch of mustaches on your neck. And like, I don't want a mustache on my neck, trust me. So you know what I mean? Okay, I'll show it to you. So that's a thing. Yeah. I don't know. So this was before I found ice yarns. This is when I was like, I'll find nice yarn. So this probably cost me like $60 of yarn. The pattern's not bad. Like a Rowana kind of coat thing with a bit of a collar is a good idea, but not with this yarn. Oh, now, good Lord. This, I think, is my first shoulder shrug. I did wear this a lot, as you can tell from its flattened appearance. Now, shoulder shrug is basically a scarf. It's like a double layer scarf, like a tube. And then, well, you make like a rectangle, and then you stitch it. You stitch a sleeve, you leave an opening, and you stitch the other sleeve. So how you measure that, you just kind of pin it together with stitch markers and hope. Then, gotta get it over my watch. You kind of have sleeves on just about anything that you're wearing, like that. Okay, I'll show you. I'll show you better. This is actually a really practical item because it's just sleeves for like over a sundress or anything like that. You can still like wear your normal summer outfits, but you don't get like that, so you have sleeves when you're chilly, but you also have your summer outfit when you're not, and you can also take it off and just kind of drape it over a shoulder and not be as hot. It's kind of a bit versatile that way, so it's kind of a good pattern. I haven't worn it lately. I'm probably just too hot these days, the weather. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. This is a written pattern. It's a C2C shawl. But this is an ambient yarn from Ice Yarns. The great thing about it is that border. Can you see that? And how the yarn changes? So ambient from Ice Yarns is like Lion Brand Landscape. Okay, this is a huge one, by the way, so I'm gonna have to it's pretty cute, right? I'm gonna have to show you from back there. The tip of this shawl goes past my knees. It's really big. It's really big, it's really heavy. I wanted it big so it would be cozy and, like a blanket you can wear. I might have made it too big. And by I might have made it too big, I totally made it too big because I'll trip on it. It's like so long. Although it is really pretty and I like the yarn, I like the colors. I think it's a nice idea. Can't fold it up properly for the love of anything. Let me see. But it's huge. Can you see how big it is? Look. See? Massive. And the border, well, I love the border. This is I don't know, I forget what I call it, but it's a written pattern. So it's the luscious ambient shawl with berry lettuce border, something like that. That is the shawl. There's not a tutorial for that. That's a written pattern, it's not a tutorial. I made it over summer holidays. Back when I didn't work when my kids were home from school. So cute, back before COVID, right? Anyway, now, next. This is my scrap gan. This is a good one. This is a good one. Perfect for winter, perfect for camping, perfect for scrap busting. So this is my Scraptastic blanket. Scraptastic. Now it's huge. It's heavy. It is 2 strands of yarn. So I used one kind of neutral color, like a gray or a black. I think I used gray. Well, a dark color. So either a black, a gray, or a dark brown all the way through, and then a light color for 1 or 2 rows going along. And I have a lot. It's before I had sharp tip needles, so you can see my ends are popping out a little bit. I don't even think I was doing magic knot back then. Anyway, let me show this to you. So what was your favorite thing from Stack in the Back this week? Let me know in the comments under the video, and if there's any tutorials you would like for the things that don't have a tutorial, also let me know. And now I'm gonna put away that stack. This is a huge stack. It's heavy. Well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions or ideas, suggestions, and I'm waiting for you in that video right there. Stay hooked.